The FDA, first of all, has done a tremendous amount of work in this area in the past years. I am incredibly impressed by how quickly they have been able to respond to changes in the landscape. The guidance that the FDA has developed clearly shows that there is a great amount of technologies that are not to be regulated. There is a tip of the iceberg that is clearly to be regulated, but the overwhelming majority, I would say, are still within enforcement discretion. Companies that are trying today to stay away from FDAs are, first of all, companies that are trying to downplay on what they believe is the full potential of their technology in favor of claims that are outside the FDA scope. And to those I say, consider the full potential of your technology and invest on that. Definitely the first advantage for an entrepreneur is to consider what would be the value of those claims to their patients or physicians or hospitals. Number two is actually what is the growth expectation for that company in terms of portfolio of products. Are you a company that is trying to bring to market a quick device or application and possibly be acquired by a major corporation? And so are you looking at a very short return to your investment and are not interested in developing more products? Well, probably I have fewer reasons to try to convince you to go for a 510(k) application with FDA. But if you are a company that wants to invest in your future by developing more products, just the fact that you will have one 510(k) with your device available to predicate upon is a huge advantage. It's what actually the true pioneers in the space have done. They have began their conversation with the FDA with a technology that was probably the simplest it could be, with claims that were tricky to regulate because relatively new, and so they had to be creative in trying to fit technology within a 40-something-year-old process of clearing medical devices. But they did it, and now when they make their technologies richer, more complex, or just their claims more broad as new evidence comes in that demonstrates that they can actually produce that value, then they have a way to go back with the FDA with something to predicate upon. Whenever I see a startup company that is in doubt as to whether or not their technology is to be regulated with certain claims, and it's clearly within the gray area, I encourage them as soon as possible to ensure that at least they have good manufacturing practices. Set good documents, document good processes, generate good records, and with that, I feel a good 70% of the work is done.